Now that The Handmaid's Tale has ended after 6 seasons on Hulu, audiences will have to wait until sometime in 2026 for the upcoming sequel show, The Testaments, if they want to see a follow-up to Elisabeth Moss' performance. Luckily, there are other places to see Moss's incredible acting talents. Moss has headlined The Handmaid's Tale as June Osborne, and her performances have never failed to live up to the intense tone set by Margaret Atwood in the original novel. In fact, Moss' acting talents have carried her forward from her initial TV voice acting work in the early 1990s to her present status as one of the most popular actors in television. And, between seasons 4 and 5 of The Handmaid's Tale, Moss starred in another science fiction thriller on Apple TV+. While we all wait for The Testaments, this show from 2021 is definitely worth the watch. Fans of The Handmaid's Tale should check out Elisabeth Moss in Apple TV+'s Shining Girls. Filmed between seasons 4 and 5 of The Handmaid's Tale, Shining Girls shows off Moss' talents. If The Handmaid's Tale was a favorite these past 8 years, then Apple TV+'s 2022 sci-fi thriller, Shining Girls, might hit the spot while waiting for The Testaments. In Shining Girls, Moss stars as Kirby Mazrachi, an archivist at the Chicago Sun-Times. Shining Girls follows Kirby's quest to solve her own attempted murder, and, in the process, uncovers a string of similar murders spanning decades. And, although Shining Girls takes place in Chicago in the 1990s, whereas The Handmaid's Tale is set in the future dystopia of Gilead, Kirby and June have many similarities. Both women that Moss portrays are the victims of incredible violence at the hands of men who feel certain of their righteousness, and both women rise above that and fight. June's strength and resilience are at the heart of The Handmaid's Tale, and Kirby demonstrates that same indomitable spirit in Shining Girls. In short, Shining Girls shows Moss at her best, and it is an excellent addition to her repertoire. On top of the excellent performance that Moss gives in Shining Girls, she also directed 2 of the show's 8 episodes. That makes Shining Girls one of only 2 projects where Moss has a director's credit, the other being 10 episodes of The Handmaid's Tale. Furthermore, Moss also worked as a producer on both Shining Girls and The Handmaid's Tale, and she will be an executive producer for The Testaments. Shining Girls puts Moss' talent center stage, and it is certainly a worthy follow-up for audiences who loved The Handmaid's Tale. Why Shining Girls is worth watching on Apple TV+. Above Moss's talents, Shining Girls is a great show. Even without The Handmaid's Tale, Shining Girls is absolutely worth watching. In addition to Moss, the show also stars Wagner Moura, who played Pablo Escobar in Netflix's Narcos, and Philippa Soo, who originated the role of Eliza Hamilton in the hit Broadway musical Hamilton. All 3 give incredible performances, and they make every scene of Shining Girls pop on Apple TV+. As the story progresses and the mystery at the heart of Shining Girls unfolds, the pacing remains spot on and there are no episodes that fail to impress. Since Shining Girls is a mystery, I don't want to give too much away in the recommendation. But there are science fiction elements at play in Shining Girls that really take the story to the next level. Just as The Handmaid's Tale and The Testaments are based on books, Shining Girls is adapted from a novel by Lauren Bukes, and those literary elements make the entire show weave together elegantly over its single-season run. So, while it's no substitute for Gilead and The Handmaid's Tale, Shining Girls is a gripping story that does not disappoint.